Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2. We got a couple players I'm excited to feature here, though I don't know what to expect, so expect the unexpected as I introduce the Polish Protoss, capturing hearts and minds. He's been working on his YouTube lately, but also still a top-tier player. It's Liquid MaNa. And on the other side, the European Zerg, formerly known as Ratata, it is Wayne. No, not Ratman. I don't even know if it's bad. I don't know. He changed his name to Wayne. I don't know. I didn't see an explanation. He just was like, this is my name now, which is fine. You could do that. Which I guess, you know, maybe take some tips from him on not sharing your name with either 1/4 of the tournaments of the year or something trademarked by Pokemon is probably a good idea. Not that I'm talking about anyone in particular, but here we are. MaNa versus Wayne from one of Wardy's many incredible, amazing tournaments that if you didn't manage to catch it live, well, thank you for sending out those replays. Like and subscribe. I guess to Wardy as well, but also here. Here's fine. As we pick up the scraps. Oracle coming in. So far, so standard. We got Stargate, couple of Adepts. Third base taken first as the probe strongly discouraged it. Oh, recall out. Adepts gonna take a few nibbles, but overall, not taking critical damage here. Just calm down. Not gonna protect the third as Wayne making his way with all the Zerglings he built. How many we got here? Ooh, we actually got a Zergling in between the Adepts there. Oh, fancy. If there isn't an Oracle, this actually could get quite dicey. No shield battery. Not quite enough Zerglings. Only activates one Oracle. So, he does get 2 Adepts and forces the Oracle to activate, but every single Ling dies. So, a bit optimistic there, but at least he got the Adepts, right? 12 more Lings on the way. Will it end there? As Wayne's sitting on nearly 50 drones, which is a healthy enough economy to deal with this early mid-game aggression. Not great, not terrible. Right in the middle ground there. Adding a few more drones on. MaNa slides in with an Oracle. Looking for more. The Adepts get shredded. Did he? Yeah, he did just send the Adept. The entire army for MaNa is now 3 Oracles. And no, that's not rhetorical. He's gonna need either Moracles or some Adepts. Yeah, he has a Sentry, an Adept, and the Oracles. Well, I'm gonna have to activate at least one of them, it looks like, to deal with this. Wayne baiting it out. Well, it's annoying. But the Adept will deal with it sooner rather than later. Behind it. Ooh. Okay. Aspire. Gambling a bit that this will not be spotted, at least before it's mostly finished. And he's got enough economy and map control in the case of... he knows there's very little in the way of gateway units. If MaNa is going to go for any sort of big tech switch, he's going to be left with very little on the ground. He opened up with 3 Oracles, he lost a bunch of Adepts, and he took a quick third. So that does not translate into a big gateway push very quickly. And Wayne has shown this looks like Muta Ling Bane, what Wayne has shown so far. MaNa's only seen 2 gases. He's seen the Evolution Chamber, which is likely for +1 melee. This very much seems like a Muta Ling Bane sort of army. And it may very well end up being that. But we got an extra wrinkle here. One of my favorite wrinkles of all time. The Mutas. How many are we going to see? He's banked up 1,200, 1K. So potentially double-digit Mutas to kick things off. Already, though, the Oracles Now, those gases are suspicious. Ooh, yeah. They're very suspicious. MaNa has already been building some phoenixes. He saw no roaches. He saw the gases, I believe, at the 3rd. Yeah, he knows. He's got at least very strong suspicions. But the gases at the 4th base, that is the information he was looking for. He knows it's Mutas, and now he's preparing the defense. But a handful of phoenixes, while they can technically counter Mutas to the end of the Earth, that doesn't mean they're going to be particularly great at it in such small numbers, because they're already here. There's very little in the way of direct defense. Targets down. One of the Templar trying to jump back. As the Phoenixes, they can attack while moving. They outrange the Mutas while flying faster. So with perfect micro and unlimited space, one Phoenix can counter infinite Mutas. But that is not how we play StarCraft. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on who you ask. So, the Muta count still growing somewhat. He's at 13. He hasn't added any Corruptors. He is getting +1 flyer. If you really wanted to fight the Phoenixes, you add Corruptors for something that has a little more stability, a little more heft to it. Something to really hold it down and actually fight the Phoenixes head on, as opposed to the Mutalist. And lo and behold, Corruptors it is. Zerg. Well known for being the clickbait title of many YouTube videos, and also usually a mistake, as Mutas, a strong gust of wind might blow them away. But when it does work, it is very entertaining. So, I'm rooting for Wayne here, as Flying Rat Man is doing his best to outmaneuver MaNa so far. 4 or 5 Corruptors is usually enough to zone out. It really depends on how you use them, but Phoenixes can't chew through them very quickly. They don't kill the Phoenixes that quick, but any damage the Mutas can do while the Corruptors cover them. It's hard to target them onto the Mutas. You see they're essentially sky blocking for the Mutas, though the Mutas have a tendency to wander forward. They want to get in there. Baneling speed is not done, but +2 melee is a key upgrade. The potential to one-shot probes and do a huge amount of extra damage. He's building 42 Banelings. If that doesn't solve everything he ever could have dreamed of, I don't know what will. There's right now 45 Banelings on the field and counting. Muta Ling Bane is back in force here. MaNa has 168 supply, so he's not slouching at the moment. Storm is about to complete, and some Templar are on the field. And the Storm is exactly what he... Oh my god, MaNa! MaNa! Oh, wrong button! Stasis Ward and Storm share the same hotkey, which usually isn't an issue. Shut up. But... Oh, falling back. The Storms are hitting the Phoenixes. The Banelings! Oh my god! It all works out in the end! This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But, wow, what a defense! MaNa! It was almost perfect. Unfortunately, Baneling slipping in anywhere. And also, they're still in stasis. They're not dead. They're just acting like it. 24 probes have died. 25, 32, 35. So despite a nearly perfect defense, it wasn't perfect, but it was... A lot happened very quickly. MaNa's still on the defense. He's done nothing to do counter damage. He's done nothing to slow Wayne down on his side of the map. And MaNa's light is waning, while Wayne, on the other hand, is waxing. The Star. Wait, what is his clan tag there? I don't know what Star is. That could mean a lot of things. Star? Crap. You know what? I'm done. Oh, that's not a super pilot. The Stalkers take 4 years to warp in from Ire. Meanwhile, Wayne, looking on the right side. MaNa. The Zerg. Continue. Banelings going forward, but the Templar from the left flank. Storms across everything, but a few Banelings slip into the mineral line, and the probes will suffer. 19 of them exploding. The one saving grace here for MaNa. The one saving grace is that Wayne did not have an infestation pit, did not go to Hive, does not have lurkers, does not pass go and collect 200 ladder points. No. So if MaNa continues to hold and manages to get to close to 200, his army is technically better. His army can win a heads-up fight with similar army supply. And Wayne has so many more workers that MaNa will very likely, he already does have more army supply. So there is a dream here. It's not just a hallucination. But Wayne has been untouched on his side of the map. The Archon holds the wall, something it couldn't have done in the last patch. Oh my god, he almost loses the Nexus to Banes, loses the Gateway before the Archon. The Gateway broke before the Archon did. Which makes sense. Stasis, the constant swarm. Well, Wayne, Corrosive Bio hits some of the Templar, but doesn't kill them. Where are the Banelings? MaNa, the Protoss Empire striking back and blunking forward. Corrosive Bile, Storm, he has the Death Ball. He has the army. It's not really a Death Ball, it's just a force marching across the map. And Wayne does not have the cost effectiveness. The Archons hold the front lines. The Storms wash away the Zerglings. The Banelings are not complete. And it looks like MaNa has enough to strike all the way to the heart of the swarm. There isn't anything left here. He doesn't have the lurkers. He doesn't have mutas. And he doesn't have anything but 2 Gs as MaNa withstands the onslaught and strikes back with deadly force. It's just too much. Well, that was satisfying as the Protoss part of me. Very happy about that one. Though also some fun Zerg there. And I do have to say, as usual, Sky Zerg making the game very entertaining. And, well, who could have expected that conclusion? MaNa with a very solid defense. Not perfect, but good enough in game 1. Yes, from now on, I christen them the mass Baneling, the almost reckless abandon of mid-game Banelings. Late night hero. I agree. Wanelings. They might not be great, but they might be good enough. You're not sure. They may kill a Nexus and all the probes, or they might all get stormed and force fielded. Either way, there's a lot of them. That is, I think, a pretty good demonstration of why Sky Zerg is usually not a common choice, because 95% of the 85% of the time Protoss players will open Stargate, and all it takes is a hint, just a imagined waft of air past the very sensitive nostrils of the Protoss to realize that there may very well be a Spire, and then they can build a handful of Phoenixes and shut down a near numberless amount of Mutas. And also, Mutas are the most costly mid-game unit that is a standard unit, I guess. So it slows down the rest of your tech, even though it gives you a lot of map control, which means if the Protoss is able to defend, your late game, your Lurkers, your Vipers, are significantly delayed. So even though the Mutas were somewhat effective, it ended up not really being enough to carve out the space for a Hive. Yeah, Wayne probably could have backed off and tried to go straight to Hive, but if you give MaNa a little space on the map, it's very likely he could come marching across even earlier. Stargate. Who would have thought? No, put your hand down. Really, MaNa? Gonna block. He slabs down a pylon at the third, aka natural, preventing the naturally. Will he cancel? Yes. With seconds to spare. Oracle first. Adept shades in. The usual exchanges here. Honestly, early game EVP, not the most tumultuous. Rarely do we see players vary from... Occasionally you'll get like a dark or a zest. Unfortunately, not recently. Maybe SOS will come in and break the matchup for us. I haven't seen any games of him since he came back of this matchup, but it's pretty well figured out. The Adept Oracle phase into third base. You can probably get away with a third relatively early on. Though it looks like Wing gonna pressure it. MaNa gonna want to slap down that third Nexus. He recalls one Adept, he misses the other, and he misses out on building the third. And getting that started. Ooh. And the Oracle. Even emotional damage may kill it at this point. Wow, this is a series of incredibly unfortunate events. As MaNa has been delayed in his third, he lost an Adept, he's baited out a bunch of Zerglings, and can't really do anything with the Oracle. So... the third base will be nearly a minute late. And he will lose 2 more of that? Ooh. It's not great. This is pretty much everything that went right in the last game has gone wrong here. Oracle will be used for that high ground vision, but Wayne is up 10 workers. He's comfortably got those 3 bases. Oracle drone sacrifices itself for a mandated work break. The Queens have yet to factor that into their pathfinding, but apparently they do. If you just go one at a time, Brenda! Shut up, Susan! Wait, what? Why could one of them fit? You gotta slim down! Okay? Just go to the side. Shield battery actually taken out by just 4 links. So... continuing the series of unfortunate events. MaNa will get that third. He's gonna try a charge lot all in. I say with a question mark on the end because not cutting probes or adding gateways yet. Yeah, chrono boosting probes is MaNa. Oh, Stasis got a queen and a drone. Crazy. Crazy emotional damage and slight delay in the economy. Double Robo. Really gambling here, it's not Mutas. Wait. And then he starts +1 air. Which I think he's trying to show. Is he gonna? Yeah, he cancels it. Yeah, but he saw your double robo, bro. He knows you're a double robo. He's not gonna get fooled by the +1 air. This is MaNa sending so many mixed messages right now. He's got Pentoracles. He's got double robo and charge. So he's going essentially every direction. And he was trying to pretend he was going the one direction that he wasn't. Which is towards Sky Toss. Unfortunately, everything but Colossi or maybe Disruptors here are countered by Roach Hydra. Roach Hydra, it might not be flashy, but it's effective against large amounts of non-splash damage. It just straight up will beat it. Of course, the numbers matter somewhat, but it's pretty easy to get to that critical mass of Hydras. Oh god, it's bad. It's not good. It's really, you know. Oh my. Solidarity. Oh, this is not going well for MaNa. This is. Oh, he's still. That somehow the 1 HP Oracle is the only one that lives. The force fields will discourage the Zerg for several milliseconds. The shield battery overcharge also does something similar. Oh no, he's super dead. Yeah. Well, that did not go well. In almost a complete reversal of game 1, everything goes horribly wrong for MaNa. And he just kind of dies. Game 3. Ooh. That I think I can give that a comfortable right there. MaNa knows it. He's a pro. He can. I trust. Just take a moment, reset. You really gotta just reset after that game. That's a ladder game right there. Where just everything goes wrong. Like the Zerglings cancel the third. You lose an Oracle. You miss the Adept recall. Come on, like of all things like that. That one's probably the worst. That one's the one that even in ladder games probably doesn't happen. If that happened on the ladder, I could see many pro players just in their normal practice games, just GGing right there. Like that's a just get me out of this game sort of situation. But in a tournament, you can't really you don't GG because you're missing an Adept on a recall. Come on. You might think about it, Cyril, but still salty about that one. Probe going to continue to be a slight annoyance to the drones, as is customary. The early game, he doesn't go for the mineral flirtation, but instead, because he brought he has minerals in his mouth, and he can't return them to the hatchery. That doesn't work like that. Yeah. The drones getting harassed. Workplace harassment here from the probes. Those blue mineral workers, well, in this case, it's the gas workers, but the idea stands. Solidarity. And can you believe it? Who expected a Stargate? Put it. Well, probe still getting the Zerglings to chase. I bet MaNa's gonna go for the quickest third here. No. I'd be so salty after that last game. Just slap down that third before the Zerglings even get close to across the map. Let's see it. Adept gonna scout in. Adept looking for the drone count. Gonna try to get a kill or two, but mostly you can tell if they're making more Zerglings. It's not perfect, but overall the Adept just kind of... The best way to scout someone is to put a unit that could potentially kill them in their base and see how they respond. Zergling speed nearly complete. Which base do we go to, MaNa? You gotta go for the triangle base. Of course. He's gonna get the Nexus before his second gate walling off, which is a bold move. I mean, there's no gateway in the wall, so like to just Wide stance. Mr. Star, there you go. That is a lot of Zerglings, but the Oracle sticking around. Just in time. But MaNa definitely not dealing with it this game. Getting the Nexus well before the Zerglings could threaten it, keeping the Oracle at home. He's not going to be able to keep nearly as much control of Wayne's economy, but he is going to keep control of his own, which is usually the most important part. Eventually, the Sentry finish. Roach Ward on the way. Forge. More gases from MaNa. Which... Are we gonna go for the Templar? He's getting... He has the... He's building Immortals. So this is the high-tech play here. He's going Mech Toss right now. The Sentry is... I don't know what the Sentry's chilling for. Clearly, I mean, it's chilling for a hallucination, but this is definitely a different flavor here. Up that Chrome slips by with the Mineral Walk. What are we gonna do with all this gas, MaNa? Is this Immortal Sentry timing? What year is it? Okay, parting. So much of the reason we don't see this very much anymore is because the standard composition out of Zerg is Ravager, Ling, Baneling. And Ravagers are kind of the linchpin of it all. And Ravagers can break force field, as well as don't take any extra damage from Immortals. So that makes the Immortal Sentry timing significantly less effective than it was back when you actually remember playing 10 years ago. Yes, it has been that long. Heart of the Swarm came out a decade ago. Not SC2, the first expansion to SC2. If you don't feel old yet, well, like and subscribe and you can age alongside the rest of us. 5 more gates. It is going to be an Immortal Sentry timing. Of course, with some extra flavor. Adding a Robo Bay, he's got 3 bases, so he's not all in here. Though, you do need to put some pressure on, because eventually this unit composition has an expiration date. Sentries will strongly discourage the Overseer as they shine their flashlights at it. Yeah. Get on out. We don't like your kind around here. Look at us with so many eyes. All we need is 2. It's like, but you're a mechanical snow globe. You don't have eyes. It's the principle of the thing. Okay. So, MaNa's doing like an Immortal Sentry. I guess he's defending with it. Whereas it looks like Wayne is gonna queen drop in order to break the army. He built 2 dropper lords, and he's gonna bring the queens. Brenda! Breaks out with the Ravagers here, though isolates a few units. Everyone's on the way. Meanwhile, the Oracle's into the natural. The fact he's getting this much damage done should be very... Yeah, the lack of queens here should be incredibly suspicious. Where are the queens? Well, that question is about to be answered. Here come the Ravagers. Gonna break through the wall. The Zerglings, but a Disruptor! Yeah, gets an okay connection. Drawing a lot of shots to the queens. This Corrosive Bile Volley doesn't find anything, but the Zerglings are in the natural, and the pylon cancels the warping. Shield battery overcharge still holding the front. The main base starting to crumble. The Zerglings are in there. You don't want Zerglings in there. Well, really in anywhere, but the main base is probably one of the worst choices. Disruptor about to be targeted here. MaNa, I think, not paying attention. He loses the Ruptor. There's 3 Immortals, though. He can juggle. They have a shield battery at the front out of energy. Still has 1 at the back. Units starting to thin out. The Zerglings were driven out of the main. The Oracles came back. I think, yeah, he used a recall from the other side. MaNa's holding the line for now, but loses the Nexus. he still has 57 probes, and overall I'd say a better unit composition as Wayne continues streaming across the map. Only one queen left to contest the oracles, which I think is why they were brought in the first place, but there's a creep tumor here to kind of springboard this attack. The Warp Prism is out of position, trying to get the last Immortal. Warp Prism barely dodges Corrosive Bile. Disruptor fires a shot, drives away. Last queen is down. Oracle's out of energy though. Saves the Ruptor. There's nothing to detect that creep tumor. Corrosive Bile knocks apart the shield battery. One Immortal, one Disruptor. The Ravagers continue pushing forward, but are eventually driven back. No blink, no charge, just the Warp Prism and the Oracles here really to micro units around. And MaNa will hold. He lost so much, but also not enough. He lost the natural, but he kept the probe count intact. Very importantly, and now Wayne has some not incredibly cost-effective units here to deal with this. You do not really want to be sitting on a small amount of Roach Ravager against Disruptor Immortal. But here we are. The saving grace, though, is that there's no Twilight Council. MaNa agrees and adds one. What happened to the Forge? How close was that? Was it upgrading? It has 4 HP! If the upgrade finished, he has 1-1 done, so I imagine it was upgrading while it was being targeted there. So that could make all the difference. The supplies are even. Disruptor drop still threatening. Wayne gonna pull back and try to macro it out, though it is an awkward situation for him. Disruptor fires. He picks it up, which cancels the shot. It's still on cooldown. MaNa, I think, has the advantage, but it's hard to tell exactly how much. Especially without the Twilight Council upgrades, you can't really commit your army without risking all of it. Without charge, without blink, it's very hard to disengage from a fight if you get caught at the wrong angle. And he doesn't have a perfect count of exactly how much Wayne had at home. A big part was committing with the queens, though. The queens are the backbone of the economy and the army. The queen, they do it all. The damage sponge as well as the larva inject and creep spread. And losing all of those queens as he sent them across the map. He's down to 2. He's building 3 at a time. I think that is going to have the biggest long-term impact. The short-term impact will be a disruptor directly to the forehead, but long-term impact will be losing those queens in the fight. That disruptor shot certainly isn't going to help things. And now 2 more. Where are you going? Come back. MaNa gonna press the issue. He's not got blink done yet, which means the corrosive biles will land. 1 queen wanders the wrong way. Disruptor. There are 3 shots. He fires the second volley. Doesn't really connect. He's gonna lose a couple of the Ruptors. Gets 1 out. Not an ideal fight here. The Banelings waddling in. Only marginally slower than the probes. Kills the pylons here. Just gives up on the rest. Still the disruptor on the back line. 1-1 is done for the Blink Stalkers, but with the corrosive biles, some Zerglings are needed to kind of draw fire here. Disruptor, Immortal, has a shot. Fires it off. Zones out for the base, but Wayne is up to 70 drones, which means he does have an economy to compete here. MaNa is committing a lot to this fight, and right now it's starting to look like a losing one. He had the opportunity to break through, but he wandered a little far forward with the Ruptors. They didn't do the damage he needed to break through the critical mass. And now he's on the edge. This is a large enough army to threaten Wayne, but not necessarily kill him. 1 disruptor hit could change all that. And so could a bunch of... Wait, those aren't charge lots. Wayne's gonna have to... He dodges the Ruptor for the most part. Just a bunch of gateway units wandering in. He's mostly abandoned this base. Wayne, with a bit of select all army action, he's just giving up on the 4th entirely. Banelings crash into the handful of zealots there. Bit of an odd split of units, but he comes back up. Disruptor has not cooled down. Disruptor does go down, but there are so many Blink Stalkers, and they actually have better upgrades here. He needs the Zerglings to cover. Some Blink Stalkers in the natural. Who's the Zerg player right now? MaNa's warping in more Stalkers. He's in the natural with the he drags back a huge amount of supply to deal with this. Wayne has a hive done. He's getting adrenal glands, but he's lost the 4th. MaNa's random gateway army wandering in, like a co-op mission there, drew him completely out of position. And that allows MaNa to take out the 4th base, and with it, regain the advantage. He now has a worker lead. He's established his own 4th behind it. He has +2/+1. The only real danger to this army is, amusingly enough, going to be Zerglings with adrenal glands and soon to be +2. And Wayne is pumping out the Lings, but adrenal glands is still a pretty long way off. And without it, he doesn't have that much DPS here to compete with the well-upgraded units. There is this rock tower here. I'm not sure who it benefits the most. MaNa may very well take it down to cut off the flank. And this is a 4th base that he really needs to keep here, ideally. Okay, Corrosive Bile does take out the Stasis. Disruptor working up from the north side. Some Zerglings will engage it. It fires a shot from the north. He has to micro away. Corrosive Bile could kill the Prism if he commits. There's still that Stasis back there. Wayne trading out. The Oracle is uncontested. Then Oracle has survived throughout all. The Oracle has 20 kills and counting. Down goes the Prism. How many Zerglings? They finally have adrenal glands. There's an Infestor. There was an Infestor. Didn't have enough energy for anything. Blocks forward. MaNa, he has the critical mass. He's done it. A topsy-turvy game. But at the end of the day, MaNa holds the line and drives the Zerg back. Wayne once again overcommitted on those, he had, once you lose the queens, you're kind of praying. So, MaNa holding. So he made it interesting. He definitely did, but comfortable enough defense. Oh my. A hectic game, but the best ones always are. I enjoyed that series. I hope you did as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Wardy. Thank you for checking out this video that Jimmy put up right there. Not them. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Good luck. Have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay chill.